Did you ever wonder about the things you learned in school and how they apply to the real world? It's a question that can lead us down some intriguing paths. As we journey through life, we often come to realize that not everything we were taught in school holds true. Some lessons may not be as accurate or applicable as they once seemed. It's important to question, to evaluate, to reassess. So brace yourselves and join us as we uncover the top 10 lies schools taught us about life. Starting with lie number 10, the notion that you must always follow the rules. Now, don't get me wrong, rules are crucial. They provide a framework for order, fairness, and safety. But here's the thing, rules are not infallible. They're made by humans, and humans, as we know, are far from perfect. Consider the world's trailblazers, the pioneers and innovators who dared to challenge the status quo. Take Sir Isaac Newton, for instance, who broke the rules of traditional thinking to introduce the laws of motion, or Mahatma Gandhi, whose civil disobedience movement defied the laws of an empire, leading to India's independence. These examples serve to remind us that sometimes it's important to question rules, to understand their purpose, and to evaluate their relevance. Because, as history has shown us, not all rules are created equal, and some are meant to be re-evaluated or even broken. So, sometimes, breaking the rules can lead to groundbreaking innovations. Moving on to lie number 9. You'll use everything you learn. It's a common belief, isn't it? We've all been told that every subject we study, every concept we grasp, will come into play in our everyday lives. But how often do you find yourself using the Pythagorean theorem or reciting the periodic table in your daily routine? Not often, I'd wager. The truth is, much of what we learn in school doesn't directly translate into our daily lives. What's more important, and often undervalued in traditional education systems, are critical thinking and problem-solving skills. These abilities to question, to analyze, to solve, are what truly equip us for the real world. They empower us to tackle challenges head-on, to innovate, to grow. So remember, it's not always about what you learn, but how you learn. The true value of education lies not in memorizing facts, but in understanding how to think for ourselves. Next up, lie number 8, good grades guarantee success. The age-old myth that straight A's are the golden ticket to a prosperous life. But let's take a step back and examine this. Academic success, while commendable, doesn't always translate to real-world triumphs. The world outside the classroom is complex and requires more than just textbook knowledge. It's not all about quadratic equations or Shakespearean sonnets, is it? That's where the importance of soft skills comes into play. Things like communication, teamwork, and problem solving. These are the skills that allow you to navigate the intricacies of the real world, not just ace an exam. Then there's emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing your own emotions, empathizing with others, these are pivotal to building strong relationships and achieving personal fulfillment. And let's not forget resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt and grow from challenges. This is what truly sets successful people apart. So remember, success is more than just a letter grade. For lie number 7, we have, there's only one right answer. This is a commonly held belief in many educational systems, but let's take a moment to consider its implications. It suggests a world that's black and white with no room for shades of grey. This mindset stifles creativity and discourages out-of-the-box thinking. It's like telling an artist that there's only one way to paint a sunset, or a chef that there's only one way to cook an egg. In reality, life is full of problems that require not just one, but multiple solutions. Think of climate change, for instance. There isn't just one right answer to this global issue. It requires a myriad of solutions, from renewable energy to policy changes, and individual lifestyle adjustments. The truth is, the real world rewards those who can think creatively and come up with multiple solutions to complex problems. So remember, in the real world, multiple right answers often exist. On to lie number 6. Mistakes are bad. This is a myth we've all been told at some point. In reality, mistakes are not our enemies, but rather our allies in the journey of learning. They are opportunities for growth, stepping stones that lead us to a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Think about it. Would Thomas Edison have invented the light bulb if he hadn't failed 1,000 times before? Or would J.K. Rowling have given us the magical world of Harry Potter if she hadn't faced numerous rejections? It's through their mistakes, that these figures found their path to success. Instead of fearing mistakes, we should welcome them. They are valuable lessons, teaching us what doesn't work and pushing us to find what does. They encourage resilience, determination, and creativity, traits that are crucial for success in any field. Remember, mistakes can often be our greatest teachers. Lie number 5 is a big one. Intelligence is innate. This misconception has been around for ages, leading many to believe that you're either born smart or you're not. But let's debunk this myth right now. Firstly, we must understand the concept of the growth mindset. This perspective, championed by psychologist Carol Dweck, suggests that our intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Yes, we all have different starting points, but that's just it. They're starting points, not endpoints. Consider a muscle. It doesn't matter if you're naturally strong or not. With consistent exercise, anyone can improve their strength. Similarly, our brain is a muscle that can be trained and developed. It's not about being born smart, it's about dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to learn. So the next time you find yourself thinking, "I'm just not smart enough," remember that intelligence is not simply a gift, it's a practice. Intelligence is not just a gift, it's a practice. Now, for lie number 4, competition is essential. It's a phrase we've all heard, isn't it? It's a notion ingrained in our minds, pushing us to outdo our peers to be the best. But what if I told you that this competitive spirit can sometimes limit our potential for collaboration and creativity? Imagine a world where we're all working together, pooling our resources, our skills, and our knowledge. Sounds pretty good, right? And it's not just a fanciful idea. In today's interconnected world, cooperation is more important than ever. It's cooperation, not competition, that's driving the most innovative and successful ventures. Consider the tech giants who collaborate on open source projects, or scientists who share their research to accelerate the pace of discoveries. These are prime examples of how cooperation can lead to extraordinary achievements. So let's rethink the idea that competition is the only way to success. Cooperation, not competition, often leads to the best outcomes. Approaching the end with lie number 3, knowledge is power. Now don't get us wrong, knowledge is undeniably important. It's the foundation of understanding, the cornerstone of progress. But knowledge, in and of itself, is not power. It's merely potential power. The true power lies in the application of knowledge. Consider this. You can read every book on carpentry, learn every technique, every tool, every type of wood. But if you never pick up a hammer, if you never cut a piece of wood, you're not a carpenter. It's the application of knowledge that transforms you into a master craftsman. In the same vein, you can learn all the formulas, theories, and laws of physics. But if you don't use them to solve problems, to innovate, to create, then it's all just data. It's the implementation, the action, the doing that truly matters. So remember, applied knowledge is the real power. Almost there with lie number 2, respect is given. Now, this is a myth that many of us have been led to believe. Respect, contrary to what we've been taught, isn't just handed out like flyers on a busy street. Respect isn't a birthright, and it certainly isn't something you're entitled to just because you hold a certain position or authority. Respect is a lot like trust. It's something that you earn. It's earned through actions, through character, and through integrity. It's earned by treating others with kindness, by being honest, and by showing that you value people for who they are, not just for what they can do for you. Just as a seed needs to be watered to grow into a tree, respect needs to be nurtured through consistent actions that show you are a person of your word. It is not something that can be demanded, but something that is given in response to deserving behavior. Respect is something to be earned, not something that's given. And finally, the biggest lie of them all, lie number 1, life is fair. Let's dive into this. From a young age, we are taught to believe in fairness. We are conditioned to expect that good deeds will be rewarded and bad deeds will be punished, creating a perception that life operates on a perfect balanced scale. But the reality is far from this idealistic vision. Life, in its raw form, is a chaotic, unpredictable force. It doesn't abide by any rule book, it doesn't promise fairness, and it certainly doesn't guarantee that the good guys always win. People face hardship, adversity, and injustices every day, through no fault of their own. The scales of life don't always balance out. But here's the silver lining. This lack of fairness, as harsh as it may seem, is not necessarily a bad thing. It paves the way for personal growth and resilience. It's the challenges we face and the struggles we overcome that shape us, that make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It's these experiences that teach us to navigate the tumultuous seas of life, to rise above adversity, and to keep going, no matter what. Remember, life doesn't promise to be fair, but it does promise to be worthwhile. It's a journey filled with highs and lows, victories and defeats, joys and sorrows. And it's in the midst of this beautiful chaos that we truly find ourselves. Life isn't always fair, but it's how we respond to the unfairness that defines us. So why debunk these lies? It's crucial to highlight the importance of critical thinking in our lives. Our journey through school is not just about absorbing information, it's about developing resilience and the ability to question what we're taught. We've walked through 10 common misconceptions, each teaching us that life is not a set of rules, but a playground for exploration and growth. Remember, it's not about what we've been told, it's about what we choose to learn and believe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to question everything.